before the sun rises over Summerland Beach on Phillip Island, the day begins for little penguins. This is Eudyptula minor, the world's smallest penguin, and it revels in the temperate waters of Australia and New Zealand. Flying predators such as swamp harriers can take little penguins off the beach, so the penguins make for the waves under the cover of darkness. Short legs and small stature appear to make walking an effort, but the latest research has found the waddle to be the most efficient way for a penguin to travel on land. However, in the water, a transformation happens. Little penguins mostly spend their day at sea hunting for small fish species. In winter, they travel long distances on extended fishing trips, often sleeping on the surface of the water. So numbers crossing Summerland Beach are fewer and will fluctuate according to the time of year and seasonal activity in the colony. When back on land, time is spent renovating burrows and dealing with noisy neighbours. Nest building begins late winter in preparation for the arrival of little feet in the colony during spring and summer. Early in the breeding season, unattached males advertise for mates by calling and displaying. Males also defend their burrows from competitors. Couples prepare for family life in carefully fitted out burrows. Most couples that stay together use the same burrow each breeding season. After mating and 35 days incubation, the female usually lays 2 eggs. A 5-week-old chick is almost as big as the parents and has only 3 weeks to go before it has full adult plumage. Unlike some other seabirds that are taught to fish by their parents, little penguins have to fend for themselves. Once fledgling chicks have left the colony, autumn is on its way. The yearly life cycle of the little penguin requires that they stay ashore for about 17 days whilst they grow a new coat of feathers. For during this time, known as the molting season, the penguin is not waterproof and would quickly suffer from exposure to the cold ocean if it went to sea. Before molting, penguins will spend many hours feeding at sea, coming ashore weighed down with fish, storing fat for their enforced time spent on land. During this stay on land, new feathers gradually push out old worn ones to form a new protective waterproof layer for the coming season. A preen gland at the base of the tail exudes a waxy substance which the penguins use to rearrange and waterproof their feathers. Hard to get at places are preened with a friend, an essential and social ritual. Although the little penguin is a protected species, they have suffered from the introduction of Northern Hemisphere predators such as foxes and feral cats over the last 150 years. Now on Phillip Island, little penguins and other wildlife are protected within the boundaries of the Phillip Island Nature Park. Phillip Island Nature Park has rangers, scientists and many volunteers who keep a watchful eye on the penguin population through feral predator control, habitat restoration and research into their biology. The sex of a little penguin is difficult to determine, so a measurement is taken across the beak. Males have deeper beaks. A selection of penguins within the colony are banded with numbered flipper bands, which are gradually being replaced with identification transponders. By recording ID numbers, we can investigate where penguins travel and monitor their lifespans. The average lifespan for a penguin is 7 years. However, the oldest surviving penguin on Phillip Island was first banded back in 1976, making it more than 200 years in human terms.
This bird is almost 24 years old. It's the oldest known penguin.
We also use the latest technology to monitor penguins' weight and breeding patterns, and assimilate other data about the colony's health and that of the oceans generally. An important part of our work is the rehabilitation of little penguin habitat on land. Penguin boxes are placed by rangers and volunteers to provide protection to little penguins in areas that were once their original habitat but were encroached upon by human settlements and introduced weeds. Boxes encourage penguins back to these areas by providing ideal habitat. Local indigenous plants grown in our nursery are planted around the specially designed boxes, making their new homes warm in winter and cool in summer. Sometimes oil spills occur in Bass Strait. As penguins swim on the water's surface, they're highly susceptible to oil contamination. Oiled penguins lose their waterproofing and will suffer from hypothermia unless treated. Affected penguins are taken to the rehabilitation centre where carers remove the foreign substance from their plumage. Daily swimming and feeding sessions encourage the penguins to preen and build up their weight. Once healthy and waterproof, they're released at the water's edge.
Good evening everyone, welcome to the Penguin Parade here this evening at Summerland Beach. We've got a very big swell today and it is high tide.
But why do thousands of visitors from all around the world come to see this evening ritual? Is it to share a natural experience with these incredible seafaring birds? Or to see homecomings, family reunions and squabbles with noisy neighbours? Perhaps the only way to answer these questions is to be here, to see for yourself. As dawn breaks on a new day on Phillip Island, other birds head to sea. These are short-tailed shearwaters, known locally as muttonbirds. Unlike the swimming penguins, these super-efficient flying machines migrate north in our autumn months between April and May. They travel to the Bering Sea between Alaska and Siberia to take advantage of fertile waters. So accurate is their migratory schedule that they reappear in the green colonies of Phillip Island in the same week of September every year to celebrate the spring equinox. Within the western boundaries of the park is the Knobbies, on the southwestern tip of the island. This is exposed to the notorious waves of Bass Strait. The blowhole beneath the bluffs is a product of relentless battering of ocean upon land. Nearby is Seal Rocks, close enough to view with binoculars. During the 19th century, sealers were ruthless, slaughtering thousands of seals for their fur. Elephant seals and Australian sea lions are long gone from Bass Strait. But since being protected in 1891, Australian fur seals have recovered to numbers higher than 80.